Political analyst Peter Mathews joins us from Los Angeles. He teaches political science at Cypress College. Peter, what exactly is the danger for the president in all of this?
The danger is that there's a consistent pattern here with these women, and it seems like he tries to pay them off or pay them for sex, and then he denies it, and then they come forward with some evidence that it actually took place. And the danger is that when this happens with any politician, that they could become blackmailed. If they are in a situation where they're trying to hide something, someone else who get that information can blackmail them. It could be a foreign agent, another government, and this is the real problem right here, right now, and also credibility, of course. And these women seem to me like they're telling the whole world about it right now. So Trump has got a real problem on his hands in both cases, and maybe in a third case, there's a third woman involved as well, from what I understand.
But look, I think it's safe to say that the voters did not hold Mr. Trump to be a paragon of domestic virtue when they elected him. So I don't think the credibility and the moral standards is what they care about. Do you really think they care about him? Do you really think that voters will be concerned that Mr. Trump could have been blackmailed?
Well, I'm not sure if which voters, because it takes a few voters to switch away from him. For example, 40% of the Republican side the voters are evangelical Christians, very fundamentalist Christians. And if only 5 or 10%
so far they've said they would give him a mulligan on this, which, by the way, for our international viewers means they'll give him a pass.
Yeah, well, that's what the leadership said, give him a mulligan. But what about the actual voters who are among those millions of Christians, fundamentalists, who say, a few of them, like I said, 5% switch over or stay home.
Do you think they're finding out anything with these stories, with these allegations by Stormy Daniels and McDougal that they didn't already know at the time that they voted for him?
Well, I think that it's just bringing it up in front of them, in front of their face once again, reminding them. I'm just saying a few percent. It doesn't take a lot because Trump only won, what, 46% of the vote, and that was 3 million votes less than Hillary Clinton. And if right now his approval ratings at 35%, so if he just loses a few percent of the evangelical Christians, that could be the end of it. And not just Christians, there are other people who feel like this man is not telling the truth in many ways, and there are a lot of other accusations about him, and he has to stand up to them and tell the truth. So you've got Mueller breathing down his neck in other ways, and now you have this to complicate matters further. 2 women. It's not just 1 woman, 2. So one thing have an effect.
One thing that's very noticeable here is the president has not addressed this. He hasn't addressed it at all. Just the only way in which he's addressed it was been very indirect. His lawyers deny any of the affairs. This is somebody who's not been shy about meeting his critics and responding to them. Listen to what happened when he was once again asked questions about these alleged affairs on Friday.
Thank you all very much.
Secretary Schultz, is he lying about the affairs?
So once again, just crickets, silence. He just does not acknowledge the question. Why do you think the president does not want to engage with this specific issue?
That is very strange because he does like to confront and come right head on as to what he's done before with women or what he thought of doing. In the case of the Access Hollywood tape, he wasn't shy at all there, but what he liked to do or did do with women. And now he's being very circumspect or reticent about even mentioning anything about these 2 affairs or alleged affairs. So let's see what he's trying to not respond to. There's something there. It seems to be something there. We'll have to wait and see. And don't forget what the attorney just said, that he has a disc which might have some information on it, and we'll find out what that will be all about.
Yeah, that attorney, look, I don't know how good he is at law. He is world-class at teasing things, however.
That's true.
And certainly. Let me pivot to something else. We've just learned from the White House that it would move to ban most transgender persons from serving in the U.S. military. Run us through the genesis of this, and why is it something that's been so high on the president's to-do list, because he's already tried to do this?
Well, don't forget that it began with gay and lesbians in the military, and President Obama made sure that was going to happen, and it did happen. And we've had valiant soldiers who have been gay, LGBT in the military and have been doing very well. In fact, Israel has also people who are openly gay and lesbian and not in any way trying to hide it because they can be that way. No one discriminates against them. In this case, we went one further step to the transgendered folks as well, and they were also allowed to serve openly. And then President Trump comes in and uses that as a wedge issue, an emotional, cultural issue to reach back to some of his fundamentalist base once again, right-wing base, to say, look, I'm standing up for true traditional values, and these folks are going to cost us too much. They shouldn't be in the military. And he's linking it to a medical issue. Well, look, other soldiers have medical treatments, and we don't refuse them treatment or say that they're a burden on the military. These folks are giving their lives for the country. To me, it's very shameful that President Trump would even consider banning these folks from actually serving openly once again. And I think it's absolutely wrong. It's demoralizing, not just for them, but for their fellow military people. I've got students in my class who are veterans and also military people active or on reserves, and they're very angry about this. They think that the president is making the military divisive. It's dividing people. It's demoralizing the soldiers all around, the straight soldiers and the LGBTQ soldiers, and it's wrong. So this has to be changed, and President Trump is in the wrong path, in my view, on this. It's not a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm. We'll see what the future for this particular policy is in the courts. Of course, last time it was thrown out. Peter Mathews, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
My pleasure, Cyril. Thank you so much.